In this video, we're going to learn how to conjugate verbs for tense and aspect. You probably know a verb as a doing word, but a verb is so much more than that. It's a word which shows an action, a process, or a state of being, and verb plays a very important role in our sentences. Tense. The verb tense is the form of the verb which indicates when something happened. Did it happen in the past, the present, or the future? You probably already know how to create verbs in past, present, and future tense. Past tense, we often add ed. For instance, we might say walked or jumped. In present tense, we just say walk, and in future tense, we need to add another verb. So we might say will walk or going to walk. Aspect adds another layer to our verbs. It's used to show whether the action or process, as seen from our verb, is a complete one or whether it's still ongoing. We use the auxiliary verbs to be and to have as helping verbs in order to show whether the action is complete or ongoing. We need to conjugate these verbs depending on the tense which we're using. Please pause the video at this point to copy the information in the tables shown into your English book. We'll be using this later on. We're now going to put together our knowledge of tense and aspect in order to conjugate different verbs. When an action is complete, we call this perfect. You can see that we have a past perfect, a present perfect, and a future perfect. This shows us when the action is completed. When using the perfect aspect, we always conjugate the main verb with ed. As you can see, in past perfect, we've used ed for the main verb. In present perfect, we've used ed. And even in the future perfect, we have ed for our main verb. When an action is ongoing, we call this continuous. As you can see, we have a past continuous, a present continuous, and a future continuous. We're able to show that the verb is in the continuous aspect by adding ing to the end of our main verb. As you can see, we have this in past, present, and future. The simple aspect is the simplest form of the sentence for that tense. As you can see, we have the past simple where we have not added any auxiliary verbs. We have the present simple where again there's no auxiliary verb. If you're confused about the present simple, it's worthwhile doing the topic on subject-verb agreement. Finally, we have the future simple. This again has no auxiliary verb, but does use the verb will before your main verb in order to show that it's in future tense. Now we're going to go through each of these using the example of the main verb walk. Let's look at some examples for past tense. Our sentence for past perfect, which shows that the action was completed before another action which also took place in the past, we have I had walked to school. We're able to see that we've conjugated the verb have using the past tense had from our table previously. We also have added the ed ending to our main verb walk to show that it is past perfect. Therefore, we have the sentence, I had walked to school. In past simple, this sentence would just be, I walked to school. We no longer have the had because it's in past simple, so there's no auxiliary verb. I walked to school. Our sentence for past continuous, which shows that the action is ongoing in the past, is, I was walking to school last week. We're able to see that we've conjugated the verb be, like in the table we had previously, to past tense, so it becomes was in our sentence. Because it's past continuous, we've also used the ing ending to our verb. So we're able to see we have I was walking to school last week. Let's put that all together. We have past perfect, I had walked. We have past simple, I walked. And past continuous, I was walking. Let's move on to present tense. We have 3 different aspects for present tense: present perfect, present simple, and present continuous. Our first example, I have walked to school, is in present perfect. We're able to see this because we've got the have, auxiliary verb, and because it's perfect, we've got that ed ending to our main verb, as we can see in walked. That leaves us with the sentence, I have walked to school. We also have present simple. This is showing that the action happens now. An example of a sentence with this is I walk to school. For third person present simple singular, we add an S. You can learn more about this in our subject-verb agreement video and task. However, an example of this is he walks to school. Notice the S that's added to your main verb. Finally, we have present continuous. We're able to see that again we're using the auxiliary verb be, and we've conjugated that for present tense. I am walking to school. Since it's continuous, we also have the ing ending to our main verb walk. That leaves us with the sentence, I am walking to school. If we put this all together, our present perfect is I have walked, present simple will be I walk, and our present continuous is I am walking. That leaves us with future tense. Future tense has 3 aspects to it: future perfect, future simple, and future continuous. Our example for future perfect is I will have walked to school. This shows that the action will be completed. We are again able to see that we've used the auxiliary verb have and the marker ed on the end of our main verb. For future simple, we have showed that the action will occur. Our example, I will walk to school. And finally, our future continuous, which shows that the action will be ongoing in the future, we have I will be walking to school. Again, we're able to see that we've used be and the ing ending. A reminder for future tense, we've used will for all 3 sentences. Putting that all together now, we have future perfect with I will have walked. We have future simple, I will walk. And future continuous, I will be walking. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully, you now know a lot more about verbs, tense, and aspect. Good luck!